Pokemon that come across the land. Da 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 reach my hand. The power that's inside. Da 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 go duck. Da 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 do do da 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 da. Jigglypuff. Okay. Morning, Kichi. My, what time did you go to sleep? Did not sleep well at all last night. My mother could tell from a single glance. I had the worst dreams, nightmares, very ominous dreams, one after the other, again and again. I woke up after each one, but could never even remember a fraction of what they had been about. Oh, okay. Ha 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 ha. But it was like those dreams were predicting something unpleasant, and I woke up in a terrible mood. Hey now, every day has been calm and fun before today, right? Those days should continue on unchanging, and yet, anxiety was the only emotion growing within me. Why was that? Nightmares reflect your own anxiety. They show an uneasy mind that which you wouldn't admit to normally. Yesterday, I remember that ominous conversation about Satoshi I had with Mian, Mian and Rina. Right, my mind felt like it was in a black fog because we had talked about that. If I'd lived every day without causing a fuss, my reward would be even more peaceful days. I understood that, so why did I have to cause such discourse? But now that I thought back calmly, a simple verbal slip on my part couldn't possibly change the world. Yeah, as long as I'm sorry for doing it and never talk about it again, there's no one that can blame me, right? Besides, how would my fate possibly change just because I talked about that? Nothing was going to change, yeah. Nothing would change. Nothing would change, nothing would change. That's a creepy smile. If you're so half asleep, then go wash your face. I'd finally cheered up enough to smile, and Mom snapped me right back down. I was irritated again. There wasn't much time left before I had to meet up with Rina. I frantically started to get ready to go to school. Have a good day, and watch out for cars. There's barely any cars to watch out for, in Himizawa anyway. Ba 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 da da da. I dashed out the front door. The morning air was far more refreshing than the water on my face. That's right, Kichimabara. If you're sorry enough about it, reflect on your mistakes, that's enough. Now let's put yourself together and get to school. And we've returned to fun, enjoyable days, where everyone laughs and plays and just has a good time. I'll be nice to Satoko as an apology too. Yeah. Wasn't I supposed to be her nini until Satoshi got back? Good morning, Kichi-kun. Rina too looked like she had yesterday. Like she had looked nothing like she had yesterday when she said that weird stuff. If I could only forget, then I could still act like nothing had happened. So I called out to her with all my energy I could muster. Hey, morning Rina. Early as usual, huh? Morning. Good morning. It was a little time before the same old morning homeroom began. But Satoko and Rika-chan were unusually absent. Maybe they went to play somewhere. However, looking over and seeing none of the things, so it looked like they really hadn't come to school. They're almost never late. Rina seemed to be enjoying herself thinking about what the excuse for being late would be. Mion said something nonsensical as well, imagining how funny the reason they were late must have been. I had only come to school to see their energetic faces since I figured it would get rid of these feelings I have, but the load on my chest remained where it was. It wasn't very pleasant at all. Well, that's not good. Hello, teacher. Good morning, everyone. President, if you would. Everyone, stand up. Our teacher finally arrived, and finally I heard the pitter-patter of footsteps running down the hall. Patter. Yuka-chan was the first to run through the open door, and then Satoko didn't come. Huh? You're late, Kurudu-san. Where's Hojo-san? It is unusual for Rika to be late, but equally unusual for Satoko, a ball of energy, to be absent at all. Everyone's eyes were wide at the series of strange events. Satoko might be a bit late today. Has she come down with something? The teacher walked over to Rina, and they started talking in hushed tones. Haha, Rika-chan is late and Satoko is absent. I guess crazy things can happen. You're right. But I wonder what happened to Satoko-chan. Is she sick? Why now, when I most wanted to see Satoko's energetic face? The unease that had been building up inside me since last night tightened within my chest. Ki-chan, you worry too much. think sometimes girls of her age can't help but stay homesick. Mi-chan, you're not supposed to say that around boys. Mion laughed indecently. Normally I laugh along with her, but right now I just didn't feel like it. Homeroom ended and we went to talk to Rika-chan in the short time we had before first period started. Hey Rika-chan, you look so sad, so very very sad when getting yelled at for being late. I'll make sure to pet you today. I was very aware of my gloom this morning, so I strove to keep my tone cheerful. I patted Rika's head the same way she always did, but she didn't cheer up at all. Meep. What happened to Satoko? Did she get sick? For instance, she got a fever from playing around too much yesterday. If that had been a response, I would have accepted it in a flash. But the atmosphere around Rika-chan felt somehow heavy. It was a little weird and it actually made my unease worse. Hey, come on, there's certainly things you can't talk to boys about. Ki-chan, back to your seat, back to your seat. Began acting like the second club president pulled me back to my chair. Rika-chan's gaze immediately fell back to her desk, and she hung her head gloomily. Rika-chan had said something odd. Satoko might be a little late. They were living together, weren't they? Then she would know for sure. She wouldn't have said might. I didn't understand why she was absent, and that made me all the more anxious. Damn it, what's going on today? It's like we started off on the wrong foot, and it wasn't going to get any better. What's the matter, Kichu-kun? You seem pretty down this morning. Mina noticed how I looked and whispered to me while the teacher wasn't looking. Do I really seem that way? Yeah, even Mina's starting to feel down just looking at you. I thought of jokingly saying then don't look at me, but I didn't even feel like doing that. Is it something you can tell Rina? I don't know what you're worried about, but if I can help you then you can tell me, okay? I won't tease you. Rina said this, looking me straight in the eye. Until yesterday nothing strange had happened. And it was lots of fun. Huh? Rina's eye widened for a moment, not understanding what I meant, but she remained silent and listened. It was peaceful every day. Every day was lively. I never had any doubts things would stay that way forever. Yeah, you're right. Every day is fun. I'm sure someday will be too. You sure? How do you know? Well... Rina, feeling perplexed, couldn't think of something to say. I didn't blame her. What I was trying to say seemed a little confusing even to me. When I think about it, I've been anxious lately. Like, maybe every day is fun. One day, all of a sudden, it'll get really dark like a light bulb turning off. Yeah, Rina kind of understands how you feel. Rina nodded gently. We've always been taught that wouldn't only be good things happening to us. Sometimes I'm scared of what's going on behind the fun. It's a little sad, but because of that, we learned how to do our best to make sure that the fun never stops. I see. So it's not a bad thing that you think our fun lives might not go on forever, Kichi-kun. Kind of like, like, if there suddenly was a volcano eruption tomorrow and everyone died, hey wait, that's terrible. If you're the only one to survive the catastrophe, Kichi-kun, how would you feel? How would I imagine myself being the sole survivor in the ruins of Himazawa, rubble and the bodies of friends lying in heaps at my feet. It was such an abhorrent sight. Was it sadder that all my friends had died, or was it sadder that I couldn't have died with them? I didn't know which, but I'd probably cry a lot. It'd probably break my heart. First I'd think I would cry, and then maybe you would think like this: if this was my destiny, then I should have made sure every day before this was as fun as possible, so I had no regrets. I didn't want to consider such a horrible event to be my destiny, but I probably would think that. The fun times will end one day, and nobody knows when they will. It makes sense to live each day to the fullest, so that if it does happen tomorrow, you don't regret everything. Yeah, it's really hard to think like that. A lot of people take their everyday happiness for granted. They think tomorrow will be the same as today, so they leave things they could do tomorrow for today for tomorrow. They leave the kindness they could have shown today until tomorrow. Mina was usually cheerful and silly, but right now she wasn't like that at all. She was taking my troubles seriously. It was a little reassuring, but Kichi-kun, you realized it. I think that's a wonderful thing. With that unease you have, I think you should keep it close to your heart. Keep my unease close? Yes. Everyone might die tomorrow in a big catastrophe, so you should be really nice to everyone today. So when the end really does come, you don't regret it. Do you do that, Rina? Live like you wouldn't have any regrets if everyone died tomorrow? Yep. It was a super hyperbolic conversation, but Rina just gave a nonchalant nod of her head. Rina knows what it's like for the fun times to end overnight. She knows there's no proof tomorrow will be fun, even if today is. I'm living. Life to the fullest. It seemed like Rena perfectly understood all the anxiety I couldn't put into words. And on top of that, like a reliable teacher, she showed me what to do. Oh, hey Kichimabara, there's no need to cry now. Last night I felt like I had a dream about Satoko. I don't remember what kind of dream it was, but ever since this morning I felt anxious. Because you thought seeing Satoko's energetic face would cheer you up? She was right on the money. If everyone had been here with smiles on their face this morning, then the murk in my heart would have definitely been blown to smithereens. Then if Satoko-chan arrives, you'll have to be nice to her. Actually, it's totally fine if you play your usual pranks on each other. As long as you're having fun. Yeah, you're right. So that even if these fun days come to an end, I'll have no regrets. I couldn't tell if what Rena told me had been comforting or just made me more anxious. But it was enough to make me think that if I saw Satoko again, I'll be honest with her. Lunchtime arrived with everyone putting their desks together like always. Satoko wasn't here. Despite that, we had bento boxes for 5 lined up on the desk. For 5? Miko-chan had made a bento for Satoko too. Oh, was Satoko supposed to be here before lunch? Miko-chan was clearly acting strangely. We were talking to her, but it felt like she was too far away to hear us. I'd never seen Miko-chan so downcast. So the rest of us started feeling down too. Hey Rena, I understood what she said before pretty well. When we were together, we were supposed to have lots of fun, so we wouldn't have any regrets if the world ended tomorrow, and yet, while I just resolved myself to do it, now we can't all be together, what the hell? Because it was just so sudden, wasn't it? I mean, yesterday was so fun, so who could believe it would all end today? No volcanoes had erupted, no earthquakes or fires had happened either. The cicadas were making the same noise they did yesterday, and the sun remained bright in the sky. It was the same normal day as always. So then why? As I pondered, Rena's chopsticks reached in front of my face and stole the fried chicken out of my bento. If no one wants it, Rena will take it. Hee hee hee, delicious. Rena tossed the entire piece in her mouth and began munching on it, her expression one of bliss. Tch, I'm such an old man. Rena got a leg up on me. Alright, this old man's gonna take this bit of steak here. Meep, all my food is gone except my rice. Miko-chan, also behind the curve, smiled again, and went for someone else's bento. As I sat there dazed at how quickly everyone had changed, Rena sent a wink over to me. Come on, Kichi-kun, live your life to the fullest. That way if a volcano erupts tomorrow, you'll be okay. This is serious. I'll be damned if dried plums and rice are the only things I have left for lunch. I'm taking that meatball. I stuffed the meat into my mouth and constructed a clumsy smile. Played along as if trying to fool myself, but as I did, it rapidly became less and less of an act. Satoko still wasn't here, but at some point we had regained our lively lunchtime. We had fun, we smiled, and we fooled around. Thanks everyone, this was definitely the best thing to do. This way, when Satoko had suddenly dropped by, we could welcome her with our best smiles. The more I smiled, the more I felt the anxiety from this morning clearing away. Wasn't there a proverb that when something like fortune comes in by the merry gate? I think so. If it's true, then this old man will roll over on the floor laughing 24/7. Rena thinks it's true. If you laugh every day, it'll be fun every day. Rena has a way with words. Then, should we try it out? Everyone took a deep breath and brought their faces together, locking shoulders. And then... Everyone laughed uproariously from their stomachs, trying to laugh at all the bad stuff accumulating in them. By the time our bento boxes were empty, everyone was right as rain. Higurashi, when they cry. Ba 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 da ba ba. Having heard of our friendly banter, Tamitaka and Akama-kun walked over and timidly spoke to us. Excuse me, Mubada-san, sorry to interrupt your fun, but we need your help with something. They grinned dryly and scratched their heads. What could it be? Want to know how to remove the censor bars in porn magazines? By the way, don't believe what you hear about Butcher doing the trick. Total superstition, you can't use an eraser either. Wait, what? Seriously? That's not what we're here for, said Tamitaka-kun, elbowing Akama-kun. Actually, our ball got caught in the gutter on the second floor. We were thinking you might be able to reach it since you're tall. Oh, we're just doing this stuff, getting us a Toko. Oh, okay. I see. Asking an upper-class man for help comes with its own price, you know. I'm not cheap. You can't buy me out that easily. Tatarigoroshi gonna come conversed for a short while, then gave their reply. We'll give you the right to take a nap during class, Mabara-san. How does that sound? What do you mean? I can sleep during class whenever I want. Why do I need your permission for it? Oh no, you can't. The next time you take a nap, we'll tell Sensei about it. Wahahaha, I see how sly, you little. Where did you learn to bargain like that, girl? Sorry, it was just a little joke. Come on, Ki-chan. Why not just cave into your underclassmen's threat? And that meal was getting on my nerves. Suddenly it came to me, and I took Tomitaku and Akama-kun's hands. Alright, I surrender. I'll get you both for you, so give me all the rights to nap time, huh? Okay. Look, Mion, I now have the privilege, but you don't, do you? Tomitaku and Akama-kun, tell Mion as soon as she falls asleep. Got it? Yeah. Mion and Rika-chan began to cackle at Kichi-kun's victory. I wasn't sure how the ball managed to get stuck up there, but it was planted around me in the school building's second floor gutter. Hand me that stick. You should be able to reach her. Here we go. Look. I took a bamboo pole and poked the ball with it. Damn, it's hard. Come on. Oh, you got it. You got it, Mabara-san. Thank you so much. The ball rolled down the gutter and fell down behind the school building. One customer ran over that direction. Leaving me by myself. Mission complete, I guess. Sheesh. There's still a lot of time until lunch break was over. Guess I should go back to the class. I'd absorbed myself in a steady conversation with everyone and wait for afternoon classes. Just when I thought that, I turned towards the entrance. Someone suddenly called out to me. Who? Ooshi? Oh, of course. I haven't seen you this time, have I? Oh yeah, I was gonna see if I've interacted with you before. Hello there, good day. Sorry for bothering you during your lunch break. There's a middle-aged man I didn't know. Oh, so you don't know him, which means you didn't meet Shion when you got surrounded by those hooligans. Which also means the doll thing probably didn't happen and you probably met Shion in a different way. I see, okay. Or maybe I'd passed by him a few times and I've seen his face, but I didn't really know him. When his half smile deepened, something within me shuddered with fear. There was no basis for that, no reason, but I shuddered. Yeah, we hate Ooshi. Every single time he comes here, everything bad, everything goes wrong. I was somewhat confused about these emotions, not quite understanding them myself. There's one thing I could say though. Nobody but teachers and students should be at school. This person shouldn't have been here. I felt less of a tremble and more of a sense of dread, like a brilliant coloured poison caterpillar crawling across my face. A feeling of disgust that neither itchy nor gross could describe as the frizzly, dreadful hair rubbed against my brow. I didn't even want to see his face. I wanted to jump backwards and run away. An unpleasant feeling for which I didn't even know the cause. The other side of myself had nothing but questions. Oh, hey, what are you doing? What are you disgusted by? This is your first time you met him. It's rude to hate someone for no reason. No one says we're coming. I held my silence, waiting a damn sweat running down my forehead. When he saw that Ooshi-san thought maybe he was being intimidating and gave me a relaxed smile. Oh, please excuse me. I'm not suspicious, I assure you. Yes, suspicious people never say that. They're not suspicious. I'm Ooshi-san from Akinomiya Police Department. Wait, where did I put my card? Huh? What? This is... what? So he flashed through various pockets and finally found his police ID and showed it to me, grinning dryly. He may have been trying to use this clumsy seeming actions to ease my anxiety, but I could definitely say it didn't work. Why was I this nervous? Was there a reason? Of course. If I wanted today to be the same as yesterday before, then today didn't need someone who hadn't been there back then. The fact that a man who wasn't here yesterday showed up today meant that today would be different from those days before it. That would mark the end of the fun and happy days. I gulped and erased the ominous conclusion from my mind. Calm down, Kichimabara. He's just an old guy who looks kind of perverted and came from the police department. Don't go deciding that the fun times are over. He just came over because of his job. Yeah, just for his job. If he's working, then he would normally go to the teacher's lounge, right? The fact that he spoke to me, yes, it must have been. That's where it was. Are you looking for the teacher's lounge? You just have to go through the entrance, and I didn't want to look at this man for another second, so I started pushing things along. Ooshi-san, however, didn't seem to have any interest in the teacher's lounge. Oh no, I don't have anything to do there. Could I get you to call a friend of yours? or maybe so bold to offend? Who? A girl? Could you call Satoko Hojo-san for me? My consciousness grew faint, like I was about to pass out. Yes, my anxiety. Realized the dreadfully disgusting caterpillar was looking at me and about to crawl into my ear. Its frizzly, dreadful hair was touching my ear cavity. That's how bad it felt. Oh, what did the police need with Satoko? No. There's nothing important. I just had 2 or 3 things to ask. I'd like it if you could cooperate with me. Why? Why of all people was it Satoko? Why would a police officer come here in the middle of the day for something that wasn't important? The man was strange. I could smell it, and it smelled bad. Just a whiff of it made me want to grimace. I knew that this man couldn't possibly be here to deliver her lost wallet or anything. I couldn't imagine what he needed from Satoko, but it had to be something unpleasant. Ah, my throat was stung with burning pain. Burned like parched creviced wasteland. The wasteland broke apart in my deep in my throat and brought out the words from deep in my mind. You may need something from her, but I don't think Satoko needs anything from you. Could you please leave? Ooshi-san probably hadn't expected that reply. He stood there surprised for a few moments. I did as well. I hadn't thought those words like that could come out of my mouth. Things might still work out. That guy may have shown up out of the blue, but if I drove him away, maybe I could make it so it never happened. If I could do that, then I could get back. The peace we had until yesterday, I could get it back. Nah, well, you sure are strict. Are you Satoko's manager, perhaps? Can I not see her without an appointment? If you just want to talk to her, shouldn't you just call her? Barging into school in the middle of the day isn't normal. Breaking through a dam would have been the perfect analogy to use. Why didn't I like this man? This man shouldn't have been here. I needed to make it so that this man wasn't here. Childish, selfish emotions bubbled up from the depths of my mind, and they each came out of my mouth just as it formed. Not liking this guy was my own problem, but to say things so bluntly to him, even I thought I was crazy. No, you're the logical sort, aren't you? I'm not a good with people who talk like that. Ooshi grinned and scratched at his sweaty throat. Even as he affected stupidity, I could tell he was irritated. Hey, Kichi Mabara, why am I looking for a fight with this old policeman here? It's not like he brought the gift of misfortune with him, all wrapped up in paper, right? Right. It wasn't like he had brought a package of misfortune with him, and was asking me to sign here, please. Rationally speaking, I understood all of that. So then why was I so... Finally, I outlasted Ushi's games in Ooshi in our game of silence, and he gave out a big sigh. Then he addressed a few of my female underclassmen running around nearby. Excuse me, all of you, do you have a moment? I'd like you to call Satoko Hojo-san if you could. My underclassmen tried to smile and reply, but they noticed this oddly stiff atmosphere around me and seemed hesitant to give a quick answer. Is she not here? Satoko Hojo-san? Hojo-san, she stayed home today. Stayed home? His face remained smiling, but his tone was clearly one of ill humor. Such conspicuous spite caused my underclassmen who had honestly to cringe in fear. I see. Nah. Dear me, I'm quite unlucky. He was smiling broadly, but the way he laughed didn't make me feel better at all. When he noticed that his laughter wasn't getting anyone to laugh with him, he immediately stopped. So, you girls, could you tell me the name of this boy here? He grabbed the girl by the shoulder so that they wouldn't remain crouched down to address them at eye level. The girls flinched away from the sharp, piercing light in his eyes, and in exchange for their release they didn't resist and told him my name. I see. Kichi Mabara-san, is that it? He said my full name. That was all he said, and yet I couldn't help but shudder. It was like he grabbed me by the collar just with those words. Oh, could you be the son of the Mabara family I've heard so much about? Nah. I heard your father is a renowned artist. His work goes on display twice a year in the great Ariyak exhibit in Tokyo, don't they? I don't know what sort of fantastic pictures he creates though. Then there's your mother, she's intelligent too. She was a high academic achiever. She went to some girls' university, didn't she? It's amazing for someone that age to have graduated from a girls' university. Could your mother actually be the daughter of a respectable family? At least those are the rumors, and they say she's a cold person because of it. Did you know that? She only went to the very first neighbor association meeting, right? That's certainly no good. You can't disrespect your neighbors in a place like this. Sense of eeriness slithered up my spine. That was my first experience of true terror. I couldn't believe it felt this terrible for somebody they just met to know everything about you already. Ushi climbed onto my shoulders and brought his eyes close to mine. In a place like this would be far better not to make enemies, wouldn't it? If not... Ow. Ushi dug into my shoulders with inhuman strength. Gah! And if something unexpected were to happen, you might see some drawbacks. Have you ever heard of karma? It's like how a butterfly flapping its wings can cause a tornado. You're just born in strange places will come back to you in ways you wouldn't believe. You wouldn't like that, would you? Nobody wants to have a grudge against them. There's nothing positive about making enemies. Hmm? What's the matter? Your shoulders are very stiff. Should I give you a massage? See? Feels good, right? Ow, 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 ow. The man wasn't just strong, it was like he knew exactly where to push me to make me feel pain. Yeah, only 4 or 5 fingers were all on my shoulder, and the pain made me want to bend over backwards. Ugh. A few of the girls from my class were pretty shaken up, but didn't seem to want to help me. They weren't sure if they should go call the teacher. As for me, I couldn't take the time to wait until the teacher got here. Ugh, it hurt, it hurt. Would you mind leaving things like that? You're hurting him. Mm. Behind Ushi stands somebody, to my disbelief, who was Coach. Oh my, if it isn't Dr. Ivy. It certainly has been a while since we were last in touch. Discomforted by Coach's sudden appearance, Ushi laughed scornfully. The vice on my shoulder, however, remained as strong as ever. Never mind the greetings. Please just let go of Mabata-kun. Ushi smiled daringly and glared straight at Coach. He didn't release me in the meantime, of course. I was just thinking of stopping by your place later, Doctor. You always seem busy, and we can never have a good chat. Yes, if you want, I'll chat with you all you like. But please, be sure to have a warrant first. After all, otherwise I can refuse to go voluntarily into questioning. Coach didn't display a shred of the weird behavior he'd shown at the baseball game and barbecue. He stared steadily at Ushi, and thought so that he would release me. The chances were terribly bad, of course. Compared to the relaxed Ushi, Coach seemed like he was being mentally defeated. It made sense. Coach had a somewhat narrow stance, but Ushi's body was packed with muscles. It wasn't even a contest. But Coach was fighting for me without taking a step back. Beads of sweat formed on his face. Though he paled, he was fighting for my sake. Nah ha 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 ha. Suddenly Ushi laughed and let go of my shoulders. My body exhausted, I fell on my backside. Bardican, are you alright? Ugh, damn it, ow. I rubbed my shoulders where Ushi had latched onto them. Oh, I really don't like Ushi. I didn't like him before, but I just like him even more. Like, why did he do that? What was the point of doing that? I rubbed my shoulders where Ushi had latched onto them. The pain from falling over went away quickly, but this pain was lingering. Are you alright, Bardican? This is terrible. Shit, ow, ow, ow. I was just giving him a little massage. Mabara-san, aren't you exaggerating a bit? Boys have got to learn to man up. I wanted to retort, but I couldn't think of anything witty. Could you lift your shoulder? Are they in pain? If you really hurt, then you should have a proper checkup. Let's just go to the nurse's office. Coach lent me his shoulder and walked beside me. What an exaggeration. I'd be the last person to do any sort of permanent damage, right? I'm still an active police officer, you know. Come, I don't know what you needed to be here for, but if you're finished, then please leave. I'm going to complain about this directly to the chief, so keep that in mind. Now that's a problem, isn't it? Rishi waved his hands sarcastically, pivoted away, and headed to the car parked by the school gates. And without turning back around, he got in and started the engine. Damn it. Who was he, damn it? He's a detective named, Kurudo Ooshi, and a hooligan. Everyone in the village hates him. Mabara-san, you should be careful too. Kurudo Ooshi. Just like I had thought, my gut instinct wasn't wrong. He would be the one. The one to bring in happiness and misfortunes something that would ruin our peace. Shit, I won't accept it. All those fun days can't possibly end just because some guy like him showed up. I won't accept it. Coach seemed to be familiar with the school, so he brought me to the nurse's office without much trouble. The girls from my class came along as well, looking worried. The teacher and the principal had noticed the disturbance and came to see what the matter was. Bardigan, what's wrong? Are you hurt? Well, there was this weird guy in the schoolyard just now. Abada-san. Coach Jenny interrupted the girls trying to explain. No, it looks like he just fell over and twisted something. I think he's alright, but I wanted to make sure. If it's fine with you, I'll bow at the nurse's office for a bit. Hmm? Please do, Dr. Irie. The principal gave him a deep bow. It looked like Coach was acquainted with the adults at school. He said open the door to the nurse's office, but there wasn't a nurse in there or anything. I figured I'd never seen anyone but Chi-sensei and the principal working here. Coach didn't seem to mind the fact that there was no nurse, and quickly made his way into the nurse's office. He instructed me to sit down and started washing his hands in the sink. Now I get it. He's a coach for the boys' basketball team. He must be pretty used to treating wounds with first aid. Could you show me where it was? Are you still in pain? No, it doesn't hurt at all anymore. I'm fine, really. I ordered my sleeve and showed him my shoulder. No bruises and nail marks. Yet it hurt so much, so my shoulder would be crushed. Even the pain had disappeared without a trace. It hurts so much, but there isn't a single bruise. It just means he's used to doing that. Used to it, huh? The next time you meet, don't provoke him. Nothing good will come of making him angry. If you go home with an uniformed officer by your side, your family won't like that, will they? Well, you're right. Still, what happened? Why did you end up in a fight with him? He came up and said he needed something from Satoko. Huh? Satoko-chan? Coach's gaze lowered and his expression clouded a bit. Somehow that gesture seemed to be saying Ooshi was bound to come to Satoko and did, and it was no laughing matter. Coach fell silent in thought. Quietly he took the compass out of the first aid kit and put it on me. Does he still plan on clinging to Satoko-chan? He's a persistent man, I'll give him that, like a snake. Coach muttered to himself. Cling? Does that Ooshi guy go to Satoko's place a lot? Coach didn't answer, but the lack of denial served well enough. What on earth did the policeman, probably a detective or something, need from Satoko? What mistake had led the detective to cling to the sweet smiling Satoko? Abada-san. Oh right, you just moved here, didn't you? Yes, I did, but... Have you heard anything about Orishida-sama's curse and about Satoko-chan? Well, I knew a few things about it, certainly. Satoko's parents were damn opponents, and the accidental death was because of the curse. You mean that? Coach smiled thinly and dryly. So you know, he said, dropping his gaze. If I recall correctly, there was an accident on a viewing platform at the public park she'd gone to with her family, and her parents died. And then it was just a big brother and little sister, and then she was with Ryuko-chan and, well, when they lost their parents, Satoko-chan and her brother, Satoshi-kun, were given to their uncles and his wife to care for them. Oh, is that so? Their parents died in the accident and Satoshi ran away, leaving only Satoko to start living with Ryuko-chan. I know that much, but this was the first time I heard they were brought to their uncle and aunt. Hmm? The uncle was Satoko's Chan's father, his younger brother. Unfortunately, neither of the couple were people deserving of respect. Coach Nomi picked his words politely, but when he came out and said that they didn't deserve respect, it really made me wonder what kind of people they were. Since Satoko's parents came out in support of the dam project, their uncle and aunt took in a lot of shame in the village as well. They would never have welcomed in Satoko and Satoshi. I've heard for the siblings it was a very rough life. Bit by bit, Coach told me about the numerous Aikanisa Hojo siblings had suffered at their uncle's house. As their guardians, their aunt and uncle sucked up everything belonging to their immediate family. Satoko and Satoshi were crammed into a small room, and their lives were laden with things that were miserable both for their bodies and minds. In the first place, since apparently their aunt and uncle weren't on good terms, there were no ends to their fights. And as if revenge for that, whenever they saw Satoki on Satoshi's face, They would always find fault with them, scold them, yell at them, strike them, and take away their meals as punishment. I still shudder to think about it. We've never known any Satoko, but the energetic and healthy one now, so you probably couldn't imagine her face being so deadly pale. Girl always standing dazed in the shade of trees. I couldn't imagine it, I didn't want to. That was how I honestly felt. But at the very least, Satoko wasn't like that anymore. She may have had a miserable life in the past, but it was different now. Something happened to change that life. Last year on the night of the Tatarigoroshi festival, their aunt died. She was beaten to death with a baseball bat by a drug addict. Rumors spread of the curse having killed an enemy of the village. On the night of the festival, the death wasn't a simple homicide either. The whisper that it was actually Orishida-sama's curse. A few days later, the deviant arrested for drug use confessed to further offences, and the incident was resolved. However, though it was resolved, no one knew whether the part about it being Orishida-sama's curse was true or not. The uncle is part of Himizawa after all. He apparently grew incredibly frightened of Orishida-sama's curse and went into hiding. From what I've heard, he's staying with a lover somewhere in Akinomiya. Are Satoko and Satoshi? Were they released? Their aunt died and the uncle fled. There was nobody left to torment the siblings then, but as he was picking up the torch, the man started showing up with alarming tenacity. That man. Then Coach lowered his voice just a bit, as if being aware of his surroundings. I mean Ooshi, the guy from before. The events that just happened came back to me. The hard to describe ominous sensation I felt when he came back to me. It's a little strange. The chain of incidences surrounding Orishida-sama's curse have all been solved, and yet he alone doesn't want to accept it. The incidences have all solved, and the detectives supposedly with the police department didn't accept that. People say that something bad will surely happen to those who he gets close to. In Himizawa, they think Ooshi is Orishida-sama's. Ki-chan? The door flung open with a rattle, and Mion came rushing in. Rina and Rika-chan came running in a few steps behind her. Then Tomita-kun and Kama-kun and a few of our classmates. Ki-chan, did Ooshi do something to you? Are you hurt? Calm down, Mion-san. He's not injured. Only gave him a compress just in case. Kichi-kun, are you okay? Are you okay? Everyone's saying stuff about how you were being strangled. Calm down, Rina. He was just squeezing my shoulder really hard. See? There's no even a bruise. Meep. Jeez. What the heck were you all doing? We're friends, right? Why were you just standing around? Why didn't you help Ki-chan? We're sorry, President. Mion yelled at our classmate baring her fangs. Tomita-kun and the others hung their head in silence. Quit it, Mion. Tomita-kun and the others weren't even there. Stop blaming them. Damn it. Ooshi. Mion kicked the floor with her heels a few times, her temper running hot. Teacher overheard the commotion and arriving as well. Hey, come on everyone, don't make so much noise in the nurse's office. President, take everyone out of your leave, please. Come on everyone, let's get going. Kichi-kun is fine. You too, Mi-chan. Mia was letting her emotions get the best of her, so Rina stepped in and said and let everyone out of the nurse's office. The detective from Akinomiya Station, Karuto Ooshi, it looked like the first impression I've gotten from him hadn't been mistaken. Satoga's absence had amplified the vague apparitions I'd felt since yesterday, and Ushi-san's appearance basically sealed the deal. Alright, I'll get going. I originally came here for Shi-sensei. So you had something to do here. Sorry for causing you trouble. Don't be so humble, he said, smiling easily. There was a side benefit to all of this. I was lucky enough to experience so much of your soft, silky skin, Mabata-kun. With the usual, coach anyway, parting words, he instead continued. Please excuse me. You weren't really badly, but please avoid putting pressure on your shoulder or anything along those lines. If you get a high fever or starts to swell, contact me right away, okay? I don't think it'll happen though. Oh, that's right, coach. Before everyone else came in, you're about to say something about what people think Ooshi is to Orishida-sama. And he's about to leave the nurse's office. Coach placed his hand on the door and stopped. Right. They think he's Orishida-sama's servant. They just bad-mouthing him though. Orishida-sama's servant. Do you know about the serial freak death incidents that occur in Himizawa every year on the night of the Tatarigoroshi festival? Otherwise known as Orishida-sama's curse? What freak death? What? Now that I thought about it, I did seem to remember overhearing Mion So in the cast talking about it like a ghost story. On the festival day in June, one person would always die and one would always be spirited away, but they seem to call it demoning away here. Oh, a fine story of what that was. I figured they made it up to scare me, but it was true? I don't have any idea who first suggested this. At some point everyone started calling Ooshi Orishiro-sama's curse, Orishiro-sama's servant. Why? Because the rumors go that he decides the sacrifices for the curse every year. Whenever June came around, Ooshi would start paying visits to Himizawa. Because Ooshi had been persistently questioning most of the dead or disappeared people 4 years ago, it was known that the victim of the dismemberment rumored to be sacrificed had been seeing Ooshi numerous times leading up to this incident. The sacrifices 3 years ago was Satoko's parents. Right before the accidental death, Ooshi had apparently visited their home. The one who disappeared 2 years ago was Mika-chan's mother, and again, people know before she disappeared, Ooshi had been talking to her extremely frequently. The one who disappeared last year, Satoko's older brother, Satoshi. Satoshi too had apparently been approached by Ooshi many times before he vanished. And then this year Ooshi was trying to contact Satoko. This isn't a freaking joke. There are rumors about it, There are just some rumors to that effect. I hadn't said any that because of the rumors of Ooshi, but Odishino-sama's servant, or his contacting people's show foreshadowing could be the sacrifice that year. It's because the ominous hatred I felt towards Ooshi was becoming more substantiated, more real. To tell you Satoko, she was absent today, wasn't she? Wait, really? That looked like news to Coach. I thought he might know why Satoko was absent today, but then I'll get going. You should get back to the others and put their minds at ease. You're right, I will. Clatter. Coach left the nurse's office and headed towards the teacher's lounge. Higurashi, maybe? Higurashi when they cry. Alright, research notes on Ooshi post memo. Go, Ooshi. Better left untold. Learn Satoko's secret. What's Satoko's secret? The Hojo family. Every year, Orishiro-sama's chaos claims 2 victims. This means that, with 4 years in a row, there have been 8 now. But it's worthwhile to know half of them have members of this family. Note, the curse of the second year, a certain falling incident involved the death of Hojo and a dove fabrinet and the disappearance of his wife. She was pronounced dead the following year, after being considered to have vanished under perilous circumstances. The curse on the 4th year involved the death of the Hojo siblings' aunt, who was then their foster mother, and the disappearance of the older brother. The Hojo family is a poor one, and it's hard to say Mr. Hojo's job went very well. Apparently, upon re-employing the family connections, there was a plan for them to return to the home of the mother side of the family. For Mr. Hojo, the evident um, eviction due to the Himizawa's dam project, the payment of a large amount of compensation money was essentially a windfall. Mr. Hojo aggressively accepted the Ministry of Construction's negotiations from an early stage and selected others from Himizawa who were also dam prominents. It was rumored that he had been brought out by the Ministry of Construction for doing so, but the truth is unknown. However, the dam prominents were in the vastly outnumbered minority. In addition, as the Shinozaki family strengthened its own foundation and promised support against the dam, all of the prominents, save for the Mr. Hojo, switched over to the anti-dam side. At this point, himself was completely united against the dam, and Mr. Hojo was held up to ridicule as a stooge of the dam project's proponents. He was essentially used as a scapegoat for the anti-dam collateral. In the end, the dam project collapsed with Orishiro-sama's curse and the dismemberment incident. However, punishment towards the bitter enemies supporting the dam project continued to this day. There are not many left today who support the dam project, nor who had a negative reputation at the time. If there were any candidates left for the curse, it's the husband of the wife who was beaten to death last year, Teppa Hojo, and Mr. Hojo's daughter, Satoko Hojo. Strangely, these two are the only candidates left. Will this year's curse come down to the two of them? there's more than enough value in observing them both. That's not good. Ushi's past memo to Ushi-san. There was a call for you from Sector 4's chief, um, Shirigahu. Apparently the slaughtered corpse in, um, Akiyawa River is related to the S group as we thought. We're still verifying what happened behind the scenes, but apparently the deceased, filed up dozens of self-created, fictional bank accounts to their limit, with money from the S group reaching around 100 million yen. It appears there were 3 or 4 men with former S group connections involved in this. They already disappeared along with the millions of yen. The deceased was tortured on that point for information, and she was clearly sorted as an example to others. There are apparently some wizards chasing down the people who disappeared. They're also spreading letters to related Yakuza groups not to harbor them. There's no evidence that Tepehojo is one of those people. From what Chief Shirigaru has seen, nothing's been announced. He's just a dependent. The man wasn't trusted at all. Tepehojo has left his apartment in Akinomiya and has returned to his former residence in Himizawa. That's not good. Fun times have ended. Okay then. That should be it for this time, so bye bye.